Good morning, and welcome to the 62nd Commencement exercises in the history of Willowbrook High School. We'd like to welcome all of you this morning as we honor the class of 2021. It feels good to be here, doesn't it? As we begin our ceremony, we'd like to remind you to please silence your cell phones and to please remain seated until the conclusion of the ceremony. This is an incredible opportunity for us to celebrate these amazing warriors. And with us today to assist in that, I'd like to thank and welcome many members of our Board of Education who are here to join us today, who support each of these students every single day. First is the President of the Board of Education and a proud graduate of Willowbrook High School, Mrs. Donna Kraft Kane. The Secretary for the Board of Education, Miss Amy Finnegan. Board member and proud parent of a graduate today, Miss Diana Stout. And board member, Miss Jean Taylor. Also from our district office, I'd like to introduce and thank members of our district administration. The first is a very dear friend, our superintendent of schools, Dr. Jean Barbonente. And also no stranger to Willowbrook High School, our assistant superintendent for curriculum and instruction, Miss Yvonne Sagalas. Also like to welcome and thank our Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Ed Hoster, and our Director of Business Services, Mr. Ryan Damraki. Also joining us on stage are two members of the class of 2021, Ms. Sarah Fairbank and Ms. Elizabeth Martinenko. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment to thank a couple of groups that help us begin this ceremony. The first is the amazing choir under the direction of Miss Karen Wolcott and accompanist Miss Linda Radke. And our outstanding orchestra members led by Mr. Jan Bobek. And finally, I'd like to thank all of you. We are here today because of you, your support, your commitment, your dedication to these students in every facet of their life. You're here today to celebrate with them. We also recognize that there are others that are not able to celebrate in person, but that we know they're with us today. The first is our former superintendent of schools, Dr. Scott Helton, who many of you know because he was a champion for each one of you in every facet of his life. The second is a member of the class of 2021, Mr. Ted Doyle, and we thank the Doyle family for joining us for this ceremony today. I ask that collectively, in their honor, as well as those who are not able to be with us today, that we observe a moment of silence. Thank you. It is again my honor to introduce the class of 2021 to all of you as they prepare to complete their requirements and graduate from Willowbrook High School. To begin our ceremony, I'd like to welcome our first student speaker, Ms. Sarah Fairbank.
Socrates' Dialogues and Credo, Martin Luther King Jr.'s A Letter from Birmingham Jail, and Nelson Mandela's autobiography are among the most influential works of Western civilization, and they're all written from isolation. I would love to say that after being in quarantine myself for almost a year, and with the entire world in shutdown, I had the inspiration to write this speech. However, to make that claim would be a great insult to the above influencers. But all I will say is if you find yourself zoning out, pretend I took my older brother's advice and made this a 20-minute murder mystery podcast, all leading up to the final whodunit at the end. Now, when I was younger, someone once shared a parable with me, and ever since it has served as an endless source of inspiration and strength in my life. And while it is religious in nature, its overarching lesson can be applicable to everyone's lives, no matter your personal beliefs. It's about a man who couldn't handle his life's sufferings and pleaded with God to replace his burdens with anyone else's in the world. However, to his great surprise, he ended up finding that everyone else's challenges and obstacles were unbearable, and the only ones he was able to handle were his own. Now, I share this with the hope that no matter where you find your inspiration, you will embrace two cardinal reminders as you prepare to embark on your unique journey after graduation. First is the idea that everyone struggles, everyone stresses, and everyone has obstacles they have to overcome in their life. However, everyone's challenges are unique, which mirrors our individuality. Each of us is able to handle and overcome our challenges because of our unique situations. So I urge you all to take a moment and think about your differences. Think about the elements in life that you are blessed with, that make you who you are. Maybe you have a supportive family, a group of friends you can always lean on, inspirational teachers, unique cultural traditions, rare interests and talents, or maybe you're blessed with realizing the Chicago Cubs are the best team in baseball. Whatever the intangibles are, I urge you to spend a few moments thinking about them and to count your blessings, because it is those blessings and differences between you and your neighbor that has rendered you capable of overcoming your unique challenges thus far, and it is those blessings and differences that will empower you to overcome any challenges in the future. At times, it's so easy to wish you were someone else, to stop and think, if only I were them. But chances are, you're not made to carry their burdens, and as easy as their life appears, for all you know, they may have a pre-calculus exam the next period, and you will find yourself desperately pleading for your own situation. So, instead of wishing to carry someone else's adversities, choose to carry yours, because you are the only person who is able to do so. Now, this brings me to the second lesson. Your greatest sufferings in life can turn into your greatest blessings if you choose to keep fighting. In 5th grade, I was diagnosed with a rare chronic illness, an illness that makes simple things in life, like taking a shower, eating food, and even going to school, impossible feats on certain days. However, what I never could have predicted are the unparalleled and unexpected blessings that have come from it. And looking back, I would never trade it for the world. The struggles of dealing with my illness ended up enriching me and my family's indissoluble relationship, and veiled for me the joy in true friendships, and perhaps most unexpectedly, it helped me realize the greater purpose of an education, allowing for the discovery of truth, which can orient my life to what matters most. My illness ended up fostering in me a love of learning in the classroom so strong that I developed an overwhelming passion to become a high school teacher. While this is just my story, I urge every single one of you to keep fighting, to push through whatever obstacles and challenges you may face, because it is in the moments when you least expect that you may uncover life's greatest unexpected blessings. Now, in a few moments, each of us will walk across this stage, receive our diploma, and graduate a Willowbrook warrior. But before we do so, there is one last message I hope each of you will consider, and that is to say thank you. Take a second and think about the people who enabled your resiliency, and remember to thank them. Write them a letter or an email, or if possible, look them in the eye and genuinely thank them. I wouldn't be telling my story if I didn't mention my parents who unconditionally support me, teachers like Mr. McGuire and Mr. Clapper, who made sure that even on my toughest days, I never lost my passion for learning. And finally, all of you, for all the laughs, memories, and companionship, both in person and on Zoom, will continue to have on me. A huge part of what allows us to overcome our obstacles is realizing how blessed we are, and none of us would be walking across this stage if it weren't for other people in our lives. So on behalf of all the students, I want to say thank you to everyone who's made our story possible. The administration, who tirelessly works for the common good of all students. To the amazing teachers, who selflessly mentored us through our high school journey and fostered our love of learning. To the counselors, deans, and social workers, who are always willing to drop everything and help us in our times of need. To the cafeteria workers, custodians, maintenance employees, secretaries, teacher aides, librarian, and IT staff who keep our school running smoothly and never miss a beat. And finally, to all the parents, grandparents, families, and guardians who instilled in us the values and morals that have helped us be successful and who have never stopped loving us. Thank you. Now, before everyone starts wishing I went with the 20-minute murder mystery speech, I just have one final invocation. To my fellow classmates, we're all about to step into a world of new struggles and adversities, be it at college, the workforce, trade schools, the military, and so on. But whatever obstacles the future holds, embrace the challenges, choose to keep fighting, and remember that the heaviest burdens often carry the greatest unexpected blessings. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. I'd like to now introduce another member of the class of 2021, Elizabeth Martinenko.
Hello, class of 2021. We've made it. We're here. We have endured and conquered the hardships and struggles that persisted for the last year and made it out. This is it. Our time at Willowbrook is ending, and what a time it has been. From being freshmen who had no clue what was going on to our tumultuous senior year, the class of 2021 has definitely had its ups and downs. This last year may have consisted of canceled events and online Zoom classes, but that has never diminished us as a class. We took our experiences and we made the best of our last year at Willowbrook. The class of 2021's legacy is what we have endured. Our lasting impression will be of this pandemic and the strength of this class to withstand the obstacles since March of 2020. Since we were freshmen, we have always been taught that we are one school and one family, and I can say today that it holds true. The pandemic may have physically distanced us from one another, but we held on together and we persisted as a class. Now, class of 2021, I want you to think back. Think back to your years at Willowbrook. What are you personally leaving behind? Every one of us, as an individual and as a class, has left a legacy. Whether it was academically or in our extracurriculars, we will all leave something behind. As a class, we raised thousands of dollars for cancer research through Relay for Life, won numerous awards and conferences in respective sports and extracurriculars, and triumphed in many class competitions. These are the accomplishments that define our legacy. We have always given our best in everything that we have done, and that spirit will stay with us as we move on, no matter where we end up. Now, for our futures, our class is attending university at 74 different schools across 23 states and 2 countries. Many will also be pursuing trade schools, the military, and other career opportunities. Our future is ahead of us, but our time at Willowbrook will always be a part of our lives and our past. Looking back, high school was difficult. It was difficult to navigate around socially and physically. The hallways always seemed like a maze. All of us had a rough patch where it was hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, especially when we first got here. It was a rough start, but in the end, we all found our niche and something to strive for. Most of us are now looking forward to a future beyond Willowbrook and beyond the people we grew up with. But the memories we made with faculty and our fellow classmates will stay with us wherever we go. The faculty at Willowbrook have done more than just teach us in the classroom. They have shaped us as adults rather than just students. They shaped our minds and helped build our characters to what they are today, on top of teaching us to thoroughly annotate any novel and accurately calculate the half-life of nitrogen. The faculty at Willowbrook provided us with the materials to build a future of our own. So, can I get a round of applause for the faculty, the administration, and the teachers who have brought us to this point? And please, can I get a round of applause for this amazing class of 2021? Congratulations, we did it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you again, Sarah, for 2 amazing statements about the class of 2021. They also took all of my speeches. So anything I was about to say, you heard it directly from them. It was an amazing testament to who this class is. Because as a class of 2021, you've come together like no other class before. Out of necessity, certainly, but also out of passion and commitment to one another. This class has defined what it means not to just to be a Willowbrook warrior, to be a good person, to take care of one another. You not only spoke out against injustices, racism, prejudice, bias, you participated, you led, you engaged. You brought us together as a staff and had conversations side by side to be sure that every single student in our building was included and continues to be. You will leave a legacy here at Willowbrook High School that defines one school and one family for all Warriors. Your commitment to everything you've done in the classroom and outside of the classroom is well known. Your accomplishments and awards, the success of going to so many different schools, into the workforce, into the armed forces, earning the scholarships is a testament to what you've accomplished so far. But what we're most proud of is what you have accomplished together. From the first day, we did talk about being one school and one family, and also being a part of something bigger than just yourself. And here we are today, together, because that's who we are. You committed yourselves, even through the most challenging of times, the support for one another, whether it be a loss of a classmate, an injury, a difficult assignment, and everything in between. Remembering that we move forward together. We move forward together as a community, as a family. And that's why we're here today. Because everyone has had an opportunity throughout these past 16 months to really reflect. But we had one commitment to each other. And here we are, your graduation day, our opportunity to celebrate each one of you, all of your accomplishments. So whether you're transitioning to college, the workforce, the armed forces, know that you're doing it with this family around you, always. Because the class of 2021, it's not a slogan on a t-shirt. We truly live it. Once a warrior, always a warrior. You have defined it. You have lived it. You have shown us what it truly means. So on behalf of all of Willowbrook High School and DuPage High School District 88, thank you. And congratulations to the class of 2021. So it is now my honor to present the class of 2021, the 62nd graduating class of Willowbrook High School. To the DuPage High School District Board of Education, District 88 Board of Education, as have successfully completed the requirements to graduate with your diploma. I'd like to now introduce the President of the Board of Education, Mrs. Donna Kraft-Kane.
On behalf of the DuPage High School District 88 Board of Education, I would also like to welcome everyone to this year's Willowbrook graduation ceremony. Today, we are grateful to be able to be together to celebrate the class of 2021. This year, we have faced many challenges and disappointments, and as mentioned by Dr. Kraus, the heartbreaking loss of our superintendent, Dr. Scott Helton, and your classmate, Ted Doyle. I have served on the school board since 2004, which, if I did my math correctly, means about the time that most of you were taking your first steps. Between Willowbrook and Addison Trail High School, I've had the pleasure to see about 16,000 graduates walk across this stage. Honestly, this class will be one of the most memorable, and I can't wait to see the mark that you will leave upon the world. This class has demonstrated resilience, persistence, tenacity, flexibility, and empathy. You have mastered Zoom and Google Classroom, but most importantly, you've learned to focus on the positives and to keep your eye on the future to overcome adversity and turn those challenges into opportunities. Sometimes the things that are the most precious to us are the things that we have to work the hardest for. I was thinking that a good symbol for this past year is a pearl. A pearl is formed from an irritant like a piece of sand that somehow enters into the inside of the oyster. Instead of ejecting the object or the irritant, the object is covered by the oyster with layers of secretion from its body. The object that came into the life of the oyster is an irritant. Instead of being cast out, it's turned into something lovely within the oyster. The last 15 months have been very difficult, but through these frustrations and irritants, you have learned many valuable, priceless lessons, and you've become stronger and more prepared for the future. You have achieved at high levels, whether it is via Zoom and socially distancing and wearing a mask. Each of those accomplishments are the examples of the pearls you have created this past year. The author Joyce Hiffler wrote that life is made up of few moments all strung together like pearls. Each moment is a pearl, and it is up to us to pick the ones with the highest luster. If we do not have time to do great things, take a few gentle moments and do small things in a great way. I want to thank each of you for restoring my hope in the future. And on behalf of the DuPage High School District 88 Board of Education, I accept the class of 2021 and confirm that they have completed all the requirements of District 88 and are eligible to receive their diplomas. Remember, the world is your oyster. It's up to you to find the pearls.
Thank you, Ms. Kraft-Kane. It is now that time. As we honor the class of 2021 to accept their diplomas, we do ask and remind you all to please hold your applause until all the graduates have crossed the stage. And at the conclusion of the ceremony, the graduates will be receding out the main gym and directly outside. So you can meet your graduates outside at the conclusion of the ceremony. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the class of 2021.
Caitlin Ann Abbott, Orlina Laith Jabbar Abdul Hussein, Jacqueline Acevedo, Stephen Frodo Acuna, Michaela Rose Adderholt, just wait here, Kelly Alberon, Tristan Cordero Ali Budbud, Lionel Alvarez, Abraham Cuauhtemoc Amaro Bucio, Hannah Amro, Yamalet Andrade, Christopher David Aviles, Sergio Ayala, Mohammed Ayash, Virginia Lynn Bailey, Tanner Balsitas, Ryan Matthew Bassford, Anthony James Biancalana, Gabriella Rose Borjo, Logan Eric Bosco, Brandon William Brock, Daly Ashlyn Braden, Caitlin Maria Brennan, Carolyn Burns, Grace Noel Burns, Matthew Elliott Burns, Ronald Calhoun, Kaylee Calvert, Andrew Caper,
Ira Carol Custodio Caracas, Yvette Castillo, Marco A. Castro Reyes, Jonathan Tyler Casares, Itzel Cedillo Arenas, Grace C. Chambers, Talha Ali, Samaya Ali, Ira Ali, Aiden Christopher Jara Alandi, Tabark Rad Rashid Al Adili, Ruksar Ahmed, Roy Martin Avianeda, Iman Asif, Giovanni Arzeta, Desiree Arteaga, David Caleb Aerosmith, Hugo Federico Archila Jr., Raji Baymore, Vincent Bernardi, Sayeda Mariam Begum, Andre Tavares Beard Jr., Jimmy Bautista, Neela Baskawi, Jeffrey William Bryant Jr., Nicholas Michael Brunetti, Anthony Rashawn Brown, Ryan Brown, Alex Michael Brogan, Elijah David Brocky, Matthew Alexander Calderon, Rocco Caruso, Gabriella Catherine Caruso.
Okay, catch you later.
Jareli Carrillo. Isabella Lizette Carmona. Richard Julian Sesla. Gabriella Zico. Morgan Elena Chuck. Zaria Matea Chu. Joshua Chavez. Diedrich Lamont Chandler. Karen Cruz. Enrique Antonio Cruz Jr. Israel Cruz Jr. Uriel Kuautle. Gwendolyn Mary Cudden. Jack Cullerton. Christian Di Peralta. Anahi Rebecca Delgado. Anahi Diaz. Amy Leila Diaz. Jacob Cieslak. Nicholas Daniel Cipriano. Alexandra Avila Cisneros. Anthony Jayana Cook. Brenda Corona Leon. Maeve Catherine Costello. Benjamin James Cuneen. Stephanie Marie Dasbach. Lauren Kathleen Diskevich. Lucas Paul Diskevich. Natasha Ann Daum. John Franklin Donovan III. Caroline Mary Dooley. Jonathan Thomas Egan. Lucas James Eggert. Cody Allen Ellis. Michael Leroy Frank Elvery, Jabari Fred Epps, Fabian Escatel, Osvaldo Esperanza, Sofia Anay Espinosa, Ashley Kimberly Espinosa, Autumn Sky Esterde, Lisette Juliana Estrada, Sarah Ella Fairbank, Serafina Falduto, Isatu Fall, Dakota India Farman, Sumaya Faruqi, Logan Riley Falk, Noel Falk, Brittany Jane Fernandez, Vincente Figueroa, Alexis Sophia Jess Fitzgerald, Andrew Flaskamp, Anaya Unique Fleming, Giselle Flores, Dana Flores, Megan Olivia Fortier, Jalen Kazie Frazier, Angela Frey,
Enrique Fuentes, Lana Gallagher, Frida Galvin, Valeria Garay, Edna Garcia, Diana Yvette Garduno Mendiola, Miranda Rose Gavian, Melanie Christine Gerconi, Stephen Gerlach, Jeremy Dylan Golston, Nina Marie Giancana, Lane Giese. Caitlin Renee Gilberg. Gabrielle Gelono. Matthew Luke Gelono. Michaela Ray Giroux. Bernardo Gomez. Andre Joseph Gonzalez. Manuel Gonzalez. Viviana Gonzalez. Thomas Goodman. Alexi Grotto. Maria Balim Grande Tepos. Zachary Thomas Grubbs. Adela Griselda Gifaro Soto. Hannah Victoria Guthrie. Lily Cariana Gusick. Vanessa Victoria Guzman. Kyle Dean Hake. Yusuf Mohammed Habib. Guinevere Josephine Halleck. Aaron Shea Hamilton. Molly Rose Hansen. Zachary Harrison. Abigail Marie Hart. Isra Husan. Madeline Marie Hayes. Satoria Mary Henderson. Patrick Joseph Hennigan III. Siobhan Kaur Hennigan. Jayana Herdrick. Alondra Hernandez. Christian Aguirre Hernandez. Lakendra Lee Hill. Kamaya Holmes. Brendan Alexander Horwitz. Amaris Hughes. Kelsey Faith Harula. Hayyan Farouk Hussein. Syed Husseini. Benjamin James Jackson. Ariel Danielle Jacobs. Oh, look at this. Jack Allen Gent. Stephanie Jaimes. Trent Jelazinski. Nida Amir Janjua. Oh my God, I didn't faint.
Amber Dawn Jerome. Antoinette Marie Jones. Caleb Emmanuel Jones. Grace Jones. Larry Darnell Jones. Alexander Karoun. Liba Kashif. L. Marie Ray Kelly. Aisha Khan. Bisma Rahim Khan. Jumina Khan. Madiha Summer Khan. Mohammed Sami Khan. Safia Khatun. Lindsay Nicole King. Tyler King. Hayden James Kingsbury. Colin Nicholas Kirby. Anne-Marie May Knutson. Lucas Alexander Konstatos. Veronica Kushusku. Eric Michael Kaczynski. Emily Lynn Kochirian. Noel Kovac. Sean Christopher Kramer. Caitlin Rose Cramey. Natalie Annalise Critchbaum. Vivian May Fuyan Krohn. Nicholas Michael Leo. Anna Molitor. Jake Collins Murray. Haley Marie Pedersen. Kayla Elizabeth Rolis. Tyler Rhea. David Rojo. Michael David Stout. Jacob John Taglia. Abigail Christine Wozniak. Ryan Mason Howard.
Okay.